All right. We are talking Sixers basketball today.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, a 3-year extension. This is huge. This is not your average offseason, oh, we're going to sign a guy kind of thing. This is franchise altering.
I think what's so fascinating about this is it's not even just the dollar amount, even though that's a hefty amount.
Oh, for sure.
But this is the Sixers basically saying, this is our guy. He is our future. We're all in on Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, you see the reaction from the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, my God.
Sixers fans, I mean, rightfully so. This is the guy that's been carrying him for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember that stretch in 23 when he had that 6-game stretch where he almost averaged 40 and 15?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Like, he IS'd the 76ers.
He is. And so to really grasp the gravity of this situation, I think you got to rewind the clock a little bit. I'm talking back to 2014
Okay.
when Joel Embiid was drafted, third overall pick.
The young kid, yeah.
It wasn't like instant superstardom right away.
Right.
Injuries early on,
Yeah, those were some nail-biting years as a Sixers fan.
and it could have really derailed, a player who wasn't as determined.
Oh, absolutely. Those were the trust the process days where you're like, man, is this ever going to pan out?
Right. And then when it did, I mean, talk about a supernova.
Oh, yeah.
Like this guy, I mean, he is must-watch TV. Like every time he steps on the floor, he is a force of nature, both offensively, I mean, we're talking scoring titles,
Yeah.
defensive presence that just changes the game, and you just don't see that,
No, you don't. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head, too. It's not even just the basketball side. Like the way he interacts with this city, there's just something about it.
He's an icon. Yeah. It's beyond the game at this point, and I think that, to me, is what this contract represents,
Yeah.
is that they're betting on that legacy to just continue to grow.
Yeah. So we've got this amazing player, electrifying. The city is ready to have this guy, be a legend. The contract to sign, what does it mean for the actual team?
It's stability,
Okay.
When you have a player like Embiid and you're the Sixers and you say, we're going to give you this amount of money, it's a message to the rest of the league.
Right.
This is our guy. And I think when you're other players in the league and you see that kind of commitment to a team and a player, that's
Okay.
attractive.
Oh, for sure. Like everyone wants to win a championship, right? Yeah.
And if you're not getting better, as they say,
Yeah.
you're getting worse. So
Yeah.
you're definitely getting better with this move.
100%. And then going beyond that, I think his leadership.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, he does stuff on the court that's not even in the stat sheet.
Totally.
Remember last year, Tyrese Maxey? He was having a little bit of a tough shooting streak.
Yeah.
Embiid took him under his wing, working with him after practice. Next thing you know,
Uh-huh.
Maxey's on fire. And that's the kind of stuff that doesn't show up,
No, for sure, for sure. But we got to talk about, the not so fun part, which is the salary cap. Like, how do you have a guy on your team making this much money and you still put a championship caliber team around him?
It's the name of the game in the NBA. So salary cap, basically a limit on how much money teams can spend on player salaries.
Embiid's extension definitely takes a good chunk out of that.
Right.
But the thing is, there's also the luxury tax.
Right.
So teams that exceed the salary cap have to pay a penalty.
Okay.
And the more they go over, the more that penalty increases.
So you got to be smart, not just about who you sign, but how much, because it's not as simple as, oh, they have this much money left, they can spend it.
It was almost like a puzzle that you have to put together.
Right.
So the Sixers are in a tough spot, but they have options. They can get creative with trades. They can find guys that are maybe on team-friendly deals but can still really ball out on the court.
Right.
They've got some young talent, Jalen Springer. I mean, he's shown some real potential. And then there's the mid-level exception. That's where you find those diamonds in the rough, maybe some undervalued players.
Yeah. Guys that maybe don't cost as much, but can still, produce on the court.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you'd rather have that problem than, not have a superstar player.
100%. It's a great problem to have.
So, okay, we're talking about all this stuff. Let's get into some of these Embiid highlights.
Yes.
I mean, the one that always sticks out to me, that game winner against Denver, 2023.
Oh, stop it. You mean the fadeaway 3 over Jokic? His time expires. Are you kidding me?
That's
the stuff of legends.
I was screaming at the TV. And it's not even just the scoring. Like when he blocked Giannis in the playoff.
Oh my gosh, sent it to the third row.
You cannot teach that.
That's what I'm saying. And, people talk about Embiid, and they always talk about the offense.
Right.
But his defense is insane.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible.
That block on Giannis,
Yeah.
that's a message to the entire league.
Yeah.
Like, don't come in here.
Yeah. this is my house.
Exactly.
And even the scoring title, like, he wasn't just given that. He worked for that. He became a better free throw
He
shooter.
expanded his game.
Exactly.
And I think that's what makes this contract extension so exciting, is that this isn't a guy who's just going to rest on,
Right.
he's 28 years old. He's just getting started.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what his ceiling is at this point? It's scary.
That is a scary thought. Okay, but we've been, like, super positive.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The injuries.
It's always the question mark, right?
Right.
Every Sixers fan, every time he goes down, you kind of hold your breath for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
Those early career ones, obviously, those are concerning.
Mm.
And there have been a few bumps in the road since.
Totally. It's that, like, what if,
Right.
That always lingers.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't, when you have a player of his caliber, you don't offer anything less than the max.
Right.
I think it's a calculated risk for sure.
Yeah.
But the payoff, I mean.
Come on. A championship parade down Broad Street?
I think it's a gamble you take.
I think so.
And to be fair, the last few seasons, he's been very durable.
He has.
I mean, he's missed some games here and there, but he's learned to manage his body.
And the Sixers have done a really good job, like, their medical staff.
Top notch.
Like, they've really invested in that, and you can see it's paid off. But what does this mean for the future? We're not just talking about this year, next year. Like, this is the Embiid era in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is him. Like, they're saying, you're the man for the foreseeable future. And when you have that kind of, I guess, backing of a franchise,
The pressure's on.
the pressure's on, especially in the East. Because we know
Just forget about it.
the East is no joke.
No joke.
So what do they got to do to, like, really make a run? What do they need to put around him?
Yeah.
I think you look at some of the teams that have given them trouble, like a Boston or Milwaukee.
Right.
Long, athletic defenders.
Yes.
Guys who can switch everything.
Yes.
Because when you have a guy like Embiid who commands so much attention,
Right.
you got to have guys who can capitalize when those double teams come.
You're speaking my language. Because it's not just about, stopping the other team. You need those buckets when it matters, too.
You got to have guys that can knock down shots.
Exactly.
Because Embiid's going to get his.
For sure.
So you got to have those guys around him who can really take advantage of the attention he draws.
And you know what? I love this for the Sixers because even if they don't, win it all this year,
Right.
they're in the conversation.
They're right there.
They are a threat. And that's, I think that's all you can ask for as a fan heading into this season.
Oh, 100%. And like you said, it's the Embiid era.
Yeah.
And that's an exciting time to be a Sixers fan.
It really is. And on that note, I'm fired up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a blast.
Appreciate it.
And until next time, keep that trust the process energy alive. We'll see you all later.